And well, the football is back and the Premier League is back too, and won't it be better to start our season 2 by analysing and looking at the current defending champions Manchester City, who so far have played 2 games in this season but are already looking quite dominant as usual. But also Pep Guardiola have introduced some new tactical adjustments which we are going to analyse in this today's video. And signing up the Premier League for me this season, it's always been Erling Haaland for Manchester City, because he was the missing piece of Pep Guardiola's lineup. And well, he indeed kick-started his Premier League career as the way he should, by grabbing 2 goals against West Ham. And yeah, it's the same West Ham that has frustrated Pep Guardiola a lot in last season due to their rigid low block, which Manchester City has often struggled to break. But this time, in this season, Pep Guardiola has, made some new tactical adjustments, and that's why we got to see some new signs and shades of Manchester City that against West Ham and Bournemouth. And as we all know from past few seasons, everyone has been telling that this Manchester City side needed a new conventional number 9, because with him they will see a more lethal side of this squad. And as soon as Erling Haaland lined up with this squad, this squad looked completely different. This squad looked more dangerous and threatening, because the tactical adjustment that Pep Guardiola had made to fit Erling Haaland into this squad, and that's why this Manchester City side are really looking what to say serious, and I guess serious business is about to start, and the serious business means Champions League. Anyway, so far Manchester City have played 2 games in Premier League this season, first against West Ham and the second one was against Bournemouth. In both this game, Manchester City line up in a 4-3-3 formation, but on paper, it was more of a 2-3-4-1 formation where both the fullbacks pushed into the midfield to play as an inverted fullbacks. And we have seen Pep Guardiola using inverted fullbacks, but I never expected him to use them up to this extent. For both of his fullbacks played mostly as an inverted fullback for an entire game. And so with this, both of the fullbacks kind of pushing into the midfield and formed a trio with Rodri. And with these 2 midfielders, or the 2 number 8s of Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan, kind of pushed themselves into those half spaces right near around the striker Erling Haaland. And also, with wing backs getting inverted or playing as an inverted fullbacks, this forced West Ham and Bournemouth to kind of defend very narrowly. And this opened up a lot of spaces on those wide areas or onto the flanks, where wingers were kind of dropping very easily, and also right high up on the pitch they were kind of creating 1v1 situations. And this wide space also allowed Manchester City to overload a game onto one side, and also with both midfielders who kind of positioned themselves into those half spaces right around the striker. And with the space they had got out on the wide areas or onto the flanks, this gave them freedom of interchanging positions with fullbacks or wingers. In game against West Ham, the 2 number 8s of Manchester City, especially Gundogan, who was killing it off in this role. The main aim for him was to allow Grealish to play as wide as possible and play as high up on the pitch as possible. From there he could create a magic and get easily into 1v1 situations. And this constant rotation between fullbacks and the number 8s, and also sometimes even with the wingers to acquire half spaces, created certain problem for both of the teams to mark a certain player. And against West Ham, both of the fullbacks mostly played as an inverted fullbacks, but against Bournemouth, Cancelo seemed to play out little bit wide, and the reason because it was Phil Foden who mostly was playing as an inside winger, and the other fullback Kyle Walker was the one who mostly played entire game as a second defensive midfielder with Rodri. And of course, now we have to talk about Haaland. I mean, 2 goals and 1 assist in his first 2 Premier League games. I mean, that's quite a start, isn't it? And to be honest, as I said, he was that missing piece from this Pep Guardiola's lineup. And well, in this first 2 games, he looks like he completes this well-oiled Manchester City side. I mean, his directness, his pace, his strength, has created a lot of havoc at the back line of the opponents. And in the end, his in-behind runs, they are just too hard to handle, because whenever he gets the space ahead of him, even if it is 5 or 10 yards, with his pace and power, he just created a lot of chaos at the opposition's backline. And well, that's how he earned a penalty against West Ham, and he scored his first goal for Manchester City in Premier League. And the second goal, it was kind of a counter-attacking goal from Manchester City, and we finally got to see Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland linking up together. And this goal just shows that Erling Haaland adds another dimension to this Manchester City side. And also, he got an assist in the game against Bournemouth, and that assist showed his another quality, that He's good at linking up where he linked up with Gundogan. He got the ball. He attracted defenders out of the position. It just showed his hold-up game, which created a space for Gundogan, onto which he ran onto it and scored a goal. In the end, in this both games, City looks quite comfortable and hungry as usual, because with the ball they are monstrous. And also without the ball in their defending phase, they were maintaining that constant high press and also were winning 50-50 chances or aerial duels in the midfield that allowed them to regain the position. Even though, but sometimes, as players were committing that high up on the pitch, they were exposed to some counter-attacking chances. But West Ham and Bournemouth didn't make the most out of it. That's why it would be interesting to see how Pep would approach the game against Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, who kind of thrives on this counter-attacking chances and have the players who can really hurt you if you give them such space. But anyway, as of now, everything looks good for Manchester City. They look comfortable, and also Pep have built a really good system and have set up it well for the player like Erling Haaland, who already looks like he's enjoying his time in this squad. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching the video. And Premier League is absolutely buzzing right now. I mean, the game of Manchester United against Brentford, where Man United got defeated by them like by 4-0, and the first 4 goals came in the first half itself, in the first 35 minutes. That was extraordinary and something new to see. And also the game of Chelsea and Spurs, man, that game was really hot to handle, because Conte getting onto head against Tuchel, and that fight, that batter, it was just, what to say, extraordinary to watch. And to be honest, that game was really awesome, because Spurs are really in good form this season, but also Chelsea has surprised me in this game, because the way they played, they really had a good game. And I think a video is must on that game. I'll make sure I'll try to bring that video as soon as possible. But anyway, you make sure that you like this video, share this video, and also subscribe the channel. Just go on this. And as usual, I'll meet you soon with another new video. Until that time, just enjoy the game.